Welcome to the West Parry Sound District Museum's YouTube channel. Each month, we will talk about a unique artifact from our collection and the history connected to it. Like what you see? Don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel. To see more amazing videos, please donate to the West Parry Sound District Museum and check out our website at www.museumontowerhill.com.
Corporal Francis Pegahmagabow was born in Shawniga on March 9, 1891, and grew up on Wasauksing Island, formerly Parry Island. He enlisted at the outbreak of the First World War and became a sniper and scout with the 1st Canadian Infantry Battalion. Pegahmagabow is the most highly decorated Indigenous soldier to serve in Canadian military history, receiving the Military Medal and 2 bars for acts of gallantry and devotion to duty under fire. He is one of only 39 Canadians to be awarded this decoration 3 times. Our collection features a deeply personal video interview of Duncan Pegahmagabow conducted by Gord Harris. These invaluable videotapes were donated to the West Parry Sound District Museum in 2013 and offer a unique insight into the life and service of Francis Pegahmagabow through Duncan's point of view. In the interview, Duncan Pegahmagabow speaks about his father's experience in the military.
He really didn't tell us about his adventures in the war. He told my mother, and it wasn't till after he went to the spirit world that my mother told us some of the stories, and which would really was true what the elder had told him, because he was an extraordinary warrior. Learned his war path over there. It was a war path of his own, you know. And he told my mother that oftentimes he would go behind the enemy lines at night as soon as it became dark. He would, with his bayonet, go behind the lines and rub shoulders with the enemy. And this way he noted their position and their strength, and before daybreak he would scuttle across the line and reveal this information to his field commanders, which was very valuable information.
Duncan also talks about the struggles his father faced as a politician.
And he came back and he got into politics on the reserve. He was chief, and then he was a councillor for a number of years. And he was really a big push for traditional life, to come back to traditional life, traditional teachings, and that's the kind of work he did. And what I remember of him, he was into politics, you know, like with Department of Indian Affairs in Ottawa. That was his what I remember him most by. Like, he used to go to Ottawa quite often, Toronto, and actually I think that's why his life ended. Politics back in those days was high pressure, you know, and I think that's what took his life. It's a heart attack, you know. Yeah, and back in those days, you got to admire the older fellas like my father. They had a battle. They were I call them our pioneers, because they really had it rough to get the things that we enjoy today. And like a lot of the times they used to do things to make money so they can travel to Ottawa and Toronto. You know, not like those days. These days now, they get first class hotels, eh? And they don't have to, you know, go out and earn the money to pay for those things, you know. So the old guys back in the old days, they really had it.
Yeah.
They had mountains to climb. And I think this is why our politicians of today on the reserve are where they are, you know, because of those old fellas back then.
Sure.
Yeah.
Duncan also recollects a memory from a Christmas night with his father.
I remember one story my mom told me when we were living down at the end of Menominee Channel. There's a place there called Optawayne, which means halfway. And I suppose halfway from the original village to Perry Sound, this Nanbush Nong, they used to call it too. It was halfway. And that's where we lived. One Christmas she talked about, particular, she said it was Christmas Day, or the day before Christmas. And I guess my father went out and there was nothing in his traps. He just wasn't having any luck. So a day before Christmas he went out and she said, I waited, I had supper ready, I waited and I put the boys, that was Mike and Joe, that was my own brother, put them to bed and she said, finally I heard the dogs barking. And she said, here's Francis. She never called him, it was always Francis, very, you know, not Frank or anything, or hey. It was always Francis. And she said it was Francis. So he came in and he said he was so tired looking. And he had a sleigh full of beaver. And so she said he ate and I guess he said, I'm going to take these right over town. And we just hope that the guy will take them. And because they're not skinned or anything, eh? So I guess he skinned them quickly, and after he ate, he skinned them quickly, and he tied the fur up on the sleigh, and he went over town. Of course, the stores would be closed. So he thought that he was just taking a chance that this man would take the fur as it is, you know, wet, not dried. So he went over and he was telling my mother that he knocked on the fur buyer's, his name was Gluckstein. And he opened up. And my dad explained. And I guess he said, sure, come on in, Frank, we'll have a look at the fur. Looked at it and he says, well, this is Christmas Eve. I'll take them as if they were just stretched and dried. Eh? So he gave him the money and he opened up his store. Because he had a store too. So he opened up his store and my dad had the store, the shop, all by himself. And my mother was saying it was past midnight, so I heard the dogs barking again. He said, here was Francis. His sleigh was filled with gifts for the boys and food. Because all they had for food was the very basic thing. But I guess he went right, he bought extra stuff and his sleigh was full. And he says he was just almost crawling. He was so tired. But he said in the morning, he said we had Christmas for the boys. They came down, there was things under the tree. And we had some extra food, like candies and fruit and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, what a Christmas story.
This video is a compilation of clips chosen by staff and does not encapsulate the entire interview. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe.